Hello and welcome to Cafe Culture. My name's Jamie Gibson. I'm your host for this evening or afternoon or midterm, whatever you want. This is an introduction to people from the worlds of music, art, film and different kinds of culture, and it's a new and different kind of chat show. Today I'm going to be starting by talking to an interdisciplinary artist based in Liverpool. She's been working with the Tate Collective and the Liverpool Biennial, and she's just set up her own collective. And then later on we're going to have music from TJ Murphy, who's going to be playing a new song for us, and that's going to be fantastic. But first we've got Sufea here with us. So hi Sufea, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Okay, I'm very fine. First off, you describe yourself as an interdisciplinary artist. What exactly is an interdisciplinary artist? It's a long word.
Well, you know how certain artists say they paint or they draw or they make films and sculpture. I basically, because I'm greedy, I do all of them and I do a bit more as well. So that's basically what that big word means. I'm just greedy.
Okay.
I'm a greedy artist.
So you do all different kinds of things.
Yeah.
And what made you want to become an artist in the first place, do you think?
I don't think there's any specific reason. I just think it was something that I loved doing at school, and then as I grew older I just became really obsessed with it, and now it's come to the point where it's just what I want to do. I just want to be creative, make artworks, and yeah, that's it really. There's no specific reason.
Okay. And I believe you started working with the Tate Collective in 2011.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I was shortlisted for a competition at Tate, and then I thought, I should join in. It sounds interesting. Tate Collective sounds very interesting. So I joined in thinking it was an art club where you go and you learn how to paint and you learn how to draw, but it's absolutely different from that. It's what I do with Tate Collective is that I organise and manage public events for young people. So even though it's a lot different from what I thought it would be, it's definitely a very valuable experience for me, and I gain a lot of skills from it.
Okay, and you work in the Tate, but you've mentioned before it's very hard to get exhibition space for your own work.
Yeah. Well, just as a young emerging artist with little background and not a lot of money, it's just very hard to rent a space out because I don't know what it is. It's hard to get owners to give us the space or just to do exhibitions with other galleries.
Right, and it's the same for studio space as well, I believe.
Sadly, I think it's just something that young artists have to go through, because you don't have, until you build a profile for yourself and until you get some decent amount of money, you just have to kind of persevere and keep the motivation up and just keep going.
Yeah, so you could say it was an uphill struggle as an artist, but you've recently formed your own collective, which is Not Just, and this has been done with other volunteers from the Liverpool Biennial, I believe. And is this kind of like a response to the fact that it's hard to get exhibition and studio space?
Yeah, it is. It is somehow because we just thought we're artists too, but it's hard to get exhibitions. But it's easier to do it when it's in a big group, because someone else might know someone else, and in terms of raising money as well, it's a lot easier. So in that sense, it's easier to do exhibitions when you have a big group to work with.
And what exactly is an artist collective for those who might not know?
Well, a collective is just basically a group of artists. We might have different art practices. Some may paint, some may draw, make films, make sculpture, but essentially we all have the same aim, the same goal, and that is to allow emerging artists to do exhibitions without having to worry so much about the cost of renting out a venue, for example.
And on a different note, how do you go from like a simple idea in your head of what you want to do to a fully formed idea, like physical piece?
I think it's just endless amount of conversations with myself and endless amount of debate until I get to a certain point where I just have to write it down, I cherry pick the main points and try to use the paint points to and express them through using the materials and main focus of the artwork.
Okay. And looking to the future, do you have any goals for like the next few years, or is it sort of living in the now, whatever happens, happens?
It's a bit of both. At the moment, I kind of just want to do more exhibitions. I'm planning a couple of exhibitions at the moment, but I don't know if they will go ahead because, like I said, it's not easy for me to get a space to do an exhibition. But I think as a young artist, young emerging artist, you just have to kind of say yes to everything and just gain as much skills as possible, just so that you can build up your portfolio profile.
Yeah.
And get some money to rent out a space.
That's brilliant. I'm sure it would be safe to say that recycling is probably a big part of your work.
Yeah, it is.
And we're going to go over now and just see a few pieces of what you do with that recycled stuff. And if you want to lead us over.
Yeah. Right.
So I guess what we should talk about first is this sweet jar, because there's certainly not lollies inside. It looks like a lot of fluff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But why is this in a sweet jar?
Well, you know that whole idea of collecting money in a sweetie jar.
Yeah.
As a homemade coin jar. So what this is basically is a product of my labour. So I work in order to save money to buy art materials and rent out a space for exhibition. So instead of saving money, I'm actually saving my actual physical labour of what I've done to achieve that amount of money, and so hence this is it. It's open for interpretation, so I don't want to say much.
Yeah. Okay. And as you can see here, there's quite a varied amount of different art, and we've also got this behind us, which is not just a portrait, and this should be on your screen now. It's a sculpture, I believe, involving the fish.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that for a little bit?
Well, it's a shame that we can't have the actual piece here, but it's actually just a dead fish, my own pet fish. I didn't kill it, but it died, and so I had this thought: you freeze fish that you eat, and you keep it in your fridge. So why can't you freeze your own pet fish and keep it there? Because it's similar to keeping an urn, isn't it?
Yeah.
So why not?
I suppose. I mean, obviously, like you said, you couldn't bring it in because we would have had like a melted dead fish on the table, and that wouldn't have been very useful at all. But something you have brought in, and I gave you one of my old shirts earlier, and you should be able to see that on screen now. And as you can see why it's an old shirt. I have not worn this in a long time. I wore it today just for you guys, and I look like I'm an extra outside of Miami Vice or something. But you've made something useful out of it.
Yeah,
I think.
have. I've made it into something similar to this. It's a shirt cushion. So it looks like a shirt, a folded shirt, but it's actually a cushion. And this is actually one of my latest sculpture piece. And the reason why I did this is because I wanted to highlight the fact that disregarded objects have a potential as well. So even if you think it's not, an old shirt is not useful, it could be turned into a nice cushion. Yeah,
making something useful out of what isn't useful anymore. So you're going to show us step by step, I believe.
Yeah. So if you just get yourself any old shirt like this, and then what you do first, you cut the sleeves off, and then you slice the sides open, right, so that you get something that looks a bit like this. Okay. So there you go. No sleeves and sides sliced open, right? And then once you've done that, you kind of you do this by eye. You just fold the top of the shirt so that you get a nice straight edge. Okay. And then you pin it so that you get something like this. And then if you get any excess materials down here, just slice it off so that you get a nice straight edge as well.
Okay.
And then
so what's next after that?
After you do that, you fold it on itself like so that you get something that is similar to this.
So sleeve's been cut, and excess bits been cut off,
Yeah.
folded over,
Yeah.
and now there's paper on it.
Yeah. So this is something that you can have easy access to. So you use a straight a piece of newspaper with straight edges, and you fold it so that it covers up all of the holes that have been left because we cut the sleeves on before. And after you've done that, you pin it, and what you do is you just slice it off.
And I believe if people want to see a full tutorial of this and a lot of your other work, then they can visit your Tumblr blog.
Yeah.
And that should be on your screens now.
And all of the info and full details on how to do this should be on there as well.
Because obviously this is quite a quicker version
Yeah.
of what you usually I think. And how long would this usually take you altogether?
20 minutes. It doesn't take me that long.
Okay.
So you should get something like that. Nice clean sides there. And once you've done that, you just turn it inside out.
Right. So this is starting to look like a cushion now.
Yeah, turn it inside out so that it looks like that. And then you pin the 3 sides together so that it looks like that. If you pin it, and once you've pinned it down the 3 sides, you just start sewing.
Okay.
So because I'm aware that not everyone has a sewing machine at home, so this is something that you can do by hand definitely. So this is something that you can do. Right.
Believe me, I'm not very good at sewing, so I think I'll leave the expert to it for now.
So once you've sewn all of the 3 open sides, you should get a cushion cover, and what you do is you just turn it back out.
Yeah.
So that it looks.
Oh,
like
there
that.
you go.
Yeah, and then just fill it in with any cushion that fits.
Right.
And then button it up, and then there you go. Shall I show you my cushion in there? Just
There's
there.
the cushion, gory insides.
Yeah.
And I think now, if we look
Yeah,
over
if
there,
you look over
we
there.
should see that there's my old shirt. It's been turned into a cushion to serve a better purpose, I think, than me ever wearing it. So it's nice. I think it's nice that you can make something useful out of what you might otherwise throw away.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, something that is disregarded has a potential.
Yeah.
It's just about exploring that, I think.
Well, thanks for coming today,
Yeah,
Sufea.
no
It's
worries.
been wonderful to chat to you. It's been really nice to see all of your work. Hope you do well in the next few months. You're managing the Glam exhibition, I believe.
Well, it's an extension
Yeah.
and an extended
Okay.
event. So
But still keeping busy, I'm guessing.
yeah, I've got a lot going on in the next few months, so keep an eye out.
All right then. Well, that's all we've got time for, unfortunately, this week. Next week we're going to be talking to Philip Davies about his latest film, and we're going to have a different artist on. But for the meantime, we're going to hand it over now to a very hotly tipped band. This is their song, I believe it's called Black River. They're TJ and Murphy. Until next week, this is goodbye from Cafe Culture, and over to TJ and Murphy.
City lights aren't so bright no more. Don't catch my eye like they did before. The city streets upon which I walk don't take me places I ain't been before. Alright, Black River. Alright, Black River. You know that when it calls, you feel it in your feet and bones. You don't know what it's like So I'll ride the Black River. The twilight hour on the dark side of town. My body is beaten, but I'm coming round. I've been trying to find a friend of mine. He's no friend of mine, but I need him now. So I'll ride the Black River. So I'll ride the Black River. Stay another night. I can't stay another night. Won't you stay another night? I can't stay another night. She said, stay another night. I can't stay another night. Won't you stay another night? Oh, she said, you go to hell and back again. If you ride, you know that